Welcome everyone. Welcome to this transmission, to this download that I am sharing with you. First, I just want to welcome you to my channel. Welcome wherever you're watching. Thank you for liking and commenting. I always love hearing whatever you wish to share, and I love replying to them as well. So and thank you for subscribing if you feel like you enjoy this content. So this transmission, it's been brewing for a little while. If you saw the one that I did last week when I was at Glastonbury Abbey, there was a lot coming through about the throat chakra. There was a lot coming through about the heart chakra. There is a lot that is happening right now that I just want to see if I can help you find a deeper resonance with who you are and what's going on within you, right? To help you here. And maybe even myself as well, because that's often what happens when we do these transmissions is I'll say something, I'll watch it back and I'm like, oh, did I say that? Oh my God, that was really helpful. So we have a new moon coming up, right? This new moon in Cancer. We had the summer solstice. That portal is still very much active. So whenever we have a solstice, there is this massive overlapping. It's kind of like an overlapping of different timelines and different realities, right? And we don't realize, but we're going through in and out of those different realities in various moments through the day. It really is, it's vibrational. It really is vibrational. The whole ascension process that people call it, it's vibrational. It happens within you. It happens within each of us, right? And when we consistently maintain a particular vibration and enough of us do that, what actually then happens is we create a new reality, a collective one, right? So we've just gone through this incredible solstice portal. We're still very much in that energy. We've started to align with Sirius as well, which is the alignment that happens around about now all the way through to Lion's Gateway and near the end of August, right? So it's quite a large portal of energy, but it peaks a couple of times. It peaks around the start of July, right, around the 4th and 5th, which is that wonderful alignment with the great central sun, right, with the sun beyond the sun of Sirius. And then it aligns again around Lion's Gate, right? And all this golden energy, this abundant energy floods in through that space and time. Right, so we've got this kind of brewing around us already. The assistance from the Sirius star beings, amongst the other ones that are always here helping us, and our teams of light whom are always here helping us. And by the way, just in case you don't know, on the 7/7 portal, so on the 7th of July, the wonderful Tim Wilde and myself are co-hosting an event to maximize on these energies. It's going to be a Remembering Your Highest Atlantean Timeline. It's going to be a very powerful workshop. We're going to draw in that remembrance, help you remember your own truth, right, with Atlantis, right, and with your highest timeline, whilst the veils are so thin, whilst we are able to really jump into different dimensions and anchor them. So it's going to be a very powerful event. I'll make sure this is, the link is in the description. And if you're watching this on Instagram or anywhere like that, it's already linked up in the bio, okay? But we've been seeing and feeling a lot of stuff, right? The Earth's heartbeat, the Schumann resonance absolutely spiked yesterday, maybe 2 days ago now, absolutely spiked. Like 7-8 times over what it normally is, right? And the reason I bring this up is because there's this really sacred dance happening right now with the sun, who is now in Cancer, the moon currently in Gemini moving into Cancer, going to be a new moon, who I believe is going to be conjunct with Lilith as well, right? Which is really important to mention. And then the dance that those two are doing, right? The dance that those two are doing very much, very much is pouring that energy into the earth, and the earth is responding, right? The earth is responding. So with all that light energy and those heat waves that came through, that clarity, right? The skies weren't clouded, or they weren't where I was living anyway. And, you know, the whole country, I'm in England, and the whole country had clear blue skies. They weren't even spraying the skies or anything at that point, you know, around that summer solstice. So we really had that direct access to receive all those light codes and just absorb them into our body, because that's what happens, right? You know, when we receive that light, it really does, it absorbs in, right? And it wants to move through us and ground through us into the earth. Now, regardless as to whether we humans are here on the planet, the earth will be receiving that energy, because the earth is in her ascension process, and we are extensions of that earth, right? So as the earth heartbeat rises, what happens is she's opening herself up to receive more light. If we look at ourselves as a mirror of the earth, we are opening ourselves up to receive more light. So what does that actually mean? Well, the higher the light is, the more that the shadows, the more that the things that are denser, that are just a little bit too cumbersome to be within us, will shake loose. It'll rise to the surface, it'll come out, right? It'll come out and want to cleanse, right? And, you know, as humans, the last port of call for us to notice something that is moving through us is our skin, right? How does our skin look? Because that's the largest organ we receive through our skin, right? Our skin breathes, it eats all of it, you know, like everything coming in, it's nourishing itself from that prana around us. But also, it is the last port of call for detox, right? So if you're finding your skin a little bit irritated right now, don't worry too much about it, right? Don't worry too much about it. Your skin is just clearing some of the things that your body is clearing. But let's look at a little bit more depth and detail here, because we've now got a Cancer sun and a Cancer moon approaching, right? Cancer is governed by the moon, right? You know, it's a very powerful placement. You know, it's that feminine energy, that water energy, you know. The sun, obviously, you know, the sun represents that masculine energy. So with the highlight of all that light being on the feminine, right, we're going to find that anything around the feminine energy within us and through the world, as you've already seen, I don't think you can even escape the news of what's happened in America recently. Wherever you look, even if you're not watching the news or anything like that, even if you've got a very strict social media, someone is posting about what's just happened with feminine autonomy for their bodies, right, for female bodies over in the States, right? You know, so you're already seeing it on a grand scale, right? And that's that solstice portal, bringing in all this extra light, focusing it on that feminine energy so that she can kind of go, no, this is time for me to rise up. And this is this Lilith energy as well. Because Lilith, to me anyway, Lilith is this kind of like this wild woman, this this woman that can't be tamed. She was the first, she was the before Eve, right? She was the one that said, sod this, I'm out, I'm not, you know, no. That's how the legend goes anyway. Obviously there's many different versions of that, but the point of what I make here is like when I work with Lilith, I work very much with this deep, earthy aspect of her, who is just, she cannot be tamed. She is all of the elements, and she will pave a way through anything that is in the way unnecessarily, right? It's this really powerful, sacred feminine energy, you know. I often, like in my womb mysteries course, the Sacred Feminine Wisdom course that I have on my website, you know, we work with Lilith in week 2, and we receive an initiation from Lilith, and she works with the sacred blood, right? A lot of the time, you know, a lot of time Lilith is associated with the sacred blood, which actually is life force energy. It's the most powerful thing on this planet. Is the blood that comes from the womb of a woman, right? And you know, so it's really, so to have that energy conjoining with the moon, who will be new in Cancer, right? Inviting all these new opportunities, inviting this joy, you know, like, you know, Cancer is very much about the 4th house as well, of the home, right? You know, the Cancer energy also associates, to me anyway, with the Earth Mother, right? Our birth mother, right? So any wounds that is in the mother archetype within us, any shadow of the mother archetype within us is going to want to heal, right? But for that to happen, it has to come out, right? And oftentimes anger is a part of that, contrast is a part of that. So that might happen. Manipulation is a part of that, control. And that's not to say that's what we want to attune to, no, not at all, but just be aware that that might come out, not necessarily, it will come out within us somewhere for us to witness. It's up to us if we project it. It's up to us if we project it. Some of the projections may look like this. Desecration of, or defamation of the moon, right? Defamation of another, manipulation of another, manipulating how we want others to see somebody. That's a very wounded feminine trait, right? So that might show up, but I don't need to get worried about that or anything, because, you know, it will only show up. It will only show up if there is just something for us to heal within. And the way that we do that is we open our hearts to wider compassion and go, it's okay. We are all connected. We are all one. What does that actually really mean? It doesn't mean to say that, you know, someone can treat you like crap. That's not what that means. What it means is we have compassion for the wound that is within the other person that may make them feel like they wish to say or project a certain thing. And when we have compassion for whatever wound they may have, whether we know it or not, and we can never know the truth, the full truth of someone else, because we're not them. But when we have compassion that, you know, that every single person, every single being on this planet is going through their own unique journey here, their own unique blossoming and remembrance of their truth, of their sovereign divine truth, then we can hold space. But what's really interesting here is that, you know, all this light that is coming in, it's raising the heartbeat of the earth. And what happens when the heartbeat of the earth rises is our heartbeat rises. Our heart wants to absorb more light and radiate more light and be a channel for more light, right? So when our heart wants to do that, the heart has all the electricity runs through the heart, right? Not only the electricity, right, which is our nervous system and everything like that, but also all the meridians go around the heart space, right? Go around the heart and via the spine as well. Now, you may be feeling, and this is kind of how ascension symptoms work. When people say, what are ascension symptoms? Or, you know, wondering about that. That's very much how ascension symptoms work, is that it's the receiving of light and our body processing that, our mental body, our emotional body, and our physical body processing that light. The mental body feels it first, right? The emotional body very shortly after that. And then the physical body is always kind of like the last place that it's felt. So when we had the summer solstice, right, you know, a lot of people were getting very triggered. There was a lot of triggering happening, a lot of projection, a lot of spiky energy, right, coming through and around, right? And if we didn't nurture ourselves and look after ourselves, then what happened was we ended up kind of getting this spiky energy back and forth. We don't want to fight fire with fire here. That's the mental body, right? That's the ego, that's the personality being triggered. That's our identity being triggered, right? But then what happens is then the emotion arrives, right? And then after the emotion, the physical body. So now we're a few days later, we are, you know, quite a few days later, it's the 27th today. So 5 or 6 days later, now our physical bodies are feeling it, right? So some people, you know, maybe getting sinuses, allergy symptoms, you know, breathing difficulties. And the main thing that your body will likely be asking you to do, and if we don't hear our body, and we don't and we do something else, the body will just show us. It'll just show us in another way. So if you've found yourself with allergy-like symptoms, or your lungs, because the lungs are around the heart and the lungs are connected with the mother energy. This is that Cancer energy again. A lot of grief is stored in the lungs, right? You know, any belief is stored in the lungs. It's the air, it's the inspiration, it's the connection with source and divine, that higher superconscious energy arrives in light and arrives in the air, Now, as we receive more light in our heart space, our lungs are then going, whoa, we're getting way more light. Okay, that's great. But there's stuff here that old stuff, stagnant stuff, that needs to kind of release itself, right? Needs to let go. And then the body goes, whoa, can tighten up. This can move up into the nasal cavity, right? This can move up into our sinus area, and people experience that as allergies, right? Don't worry too much about it. But what's really interesting is that the body might be asking you not to use the old methods that you may have used to monitor and manage them. So, for example, if you've ever had asthma, I used to be chronically ill with asthma and allergies of all kinds, chronically ill with them. Used to be, not anymore. And what's really interesting is that, I felt my chest really start, like the past few nights I've like really struggled to breathe whilst I've been asleep, and just manage my breathing. And, years and years ago, should this have happened, I'd have been straight on with the salbutamol, with the inhalers, probably to the level that my breathing was kind of at. I'd probably have gone to the walk-in clinic because it was quite restricted. I'm like, wow, what's happening here? But then when I actually listened to my lungs, when I listened to my body just needed me to breathe deeply and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, right? To relax the body, to reassure the body, to let the body know that it's okay, right? To let the body know that it's okay, and that we have the tools, and that every sensation will pass. Sensations are what make us human. But to connect this back to the Earth's heartbeat, all this light that's coming from the sun and the moon and everywhere, right? From the cosmos, is upgrading the Earth, the crystalline structure. If you watch the Pranic Sunday video I did yesterday, we spoke about, does dry fasting rapidly accelerate your ascension and your carbon to crystalline light body, because you're working with fire to burn away all that stuff that we've just spoken about, right? You're working with that fire energy within you to burn it all away and to purify. So what's really interesting now is we're purifying with earth and with water, right? We're purifying with earth and with water right now. Cancer is very much that water energy, that crab, right? Home life, nurturing, nourishing, taking care of yourself, really putting yourself first, so that you can look out for others, right? Water fasting would be wonderful to do right now. Allowing that water to really move through you and purify and cleanse, because we want the waters within us, because all of our organs, our physical body, most ailments that we experience physically is because we're dehydrated. We're not drinking enough, right? And the waters that are stored with stagnant energy, with this carbon stagnant energy that has served us before, but now we're evolving, right? We're expanding, we're evolving. Those waters once become crystal clear. I was walking down the canal yesterday, and I showed on the video the canal. I was like, look, it's like what's happening around the brain or the heart or the womb or anywhere like that. What's happening around these areas is that it's kind of like, it's like the canal water. It's dark, it's murky, you can't see through it, it's not clear. Okay? We want it to become this like crystal clear stream, right? And that's what's wanting to happen. So all this water wants to cleanse out. So we may feel constrictions as our body is really clearing out the stagnant dregs of the water, right? So with the moon, with this Cancer moon, we really want to make sure that we don't overdo it this week. Take time, check your emotions. It's all about emotions this week. Are you listening to your emotions? Because your emotions, doesn't matter what the emotion is, it's a good thing. Even if it's a low frequency emotion, it's a good thing because it's telling you, it's directing you. That is the most direct guidance system you have. The most in your face guidance system you have is your emotions, right? Now, check your emotions. You get to choose how you want to feel as well. You get to choose that. We are so addicted as humans to drama or to feeling not good, right? That when we are feeling good, we're like, oh my God, what's happening? You know? So causal chakra, right? Our own personal moon, you know, that is really receiving a lot of light right now, allowing us to receive guidance from our angelic light team, unicorn realm, all of that. And what's more is that, you know, that light is coming down. It's already been activated up in the stellar gateway by the sun, right? Your vortex, if anyone listens to Abraham Hicks, you know, my nose is starting to run now. I talk about water. This happened in the last video, and then my nose starts to run. I'm like, oh. Let me just see if I can get a tissue here. 2 seconds. Oop. Oh, that's better. Every time. Every time talk about water clearing, my water's clear. But yeah, let's get straight back to it here. Stellar gateway, that sun energy, this is being activated and it's highlighting, it's beaming down, and it's kind of, it's undeniable, really. It's like an undeniable force that we just can't, you know, ignore anymore. And our causal is also now jumping into the mix here. So our causal chakra, as well as the stellar gateway, they're both kind of pairing together now and beaming both sides of this light all around you. So it's kind of like, you know, you're going to just want to follow your spiritual path. You're going to want to listen to yourself, your body, your emotions. You're going to want to follow your bliss, right? The heart, the higher heart is still continuing to be activated. You may still feel sensations around the heart. So that's, you know, lungs, right? Lungs, throats, all that type of stuff. You may still feel that tightness of shoulders or back, right? You may still feel that. And that's okay. Allow the cleansing to happen. Support yourself. Drink loads of clean water, right? Lessen the denser nourishments. So that's like, you know, any of the heavier or denser foods. If you enjoy things like, you know, coffee and, you know, processed foods, you know, now might be the time, this week might be the time where you actually get a sudden urge to not consume those and you don't know why. Your mind, your ego, your personality, your patterns may say continue to do that, but you just won't really feel the gumption for it. Listen, just listen to what you're being guided to, because your body knows best. Your body is part of the earth. The earth will always be in harmony, especially if we stop interfering. And then the womb, the waters of the womb, right? That creation energy, that home, nurturing. New opportunities are really beckoning, but we've got to be able to listen to ourselves, because the thing is the higher frequency opportunities, this is really important, you guys, the higher frequency opportunities that we desire, we have to match that frequency. We have to match them. So we have to allow our vibration to be of that level consistently for them to manifest physically. So often people, you know, desire something, but then they effort their way to get it and it's not natural. Our frequency will naturally rise. That's why I'm doing those, the free meditation videos. Just meditate with me. It's just accountability. That's all it is. It's silent meditation. You can do it at home in your own time. But, you know, you can do it with me online if you like. The other thing that's worth mentioning as well is that Neptune is going retrograde, which is a really good thing because that's happening tomorrow. And that'll be until the end of the year. And that will bring this immense focus for us, this invitation for us to really focus on our spiritual path. Immense spiritual growth can occur in the next 6 months if we allow it, like more than you've ever gone through before. Like ridiculous amount of spiritual growth and accessible embodiment of gifts and of abilities that you probably aren't even aware of right now in this moment. In 4, 5, 6 months time, you'll be like, wow, oh my God, I never even knew that was a thing, and now I'm like doing this stuff, you know. We're going to get invited, so follow that intuition, right? Follow that. Intuition is going to be a big thing, but for intuition to be clear, you know, we're getting guided constantly by our ego, right? Also by superconscious, by our higher self. But the thing is it's a vibrational thing. If our body isn't of a high enough vibration, then we're going to naturally attune to the ego, which is going to tell you what you've done before and going to make patterns based on the past, which is going to keep you in the past. If you want to go into the future, into a higher space, then we need to prepare our body for it so that we can prepare our mind for it, so that we can receive it and embody it. Does that make sense? So I'm going to start to wrap this up, but I just wanted to, I know this is quite a long video today, but there was a lot that wanted to come through. I do have one-to-one slots available this week, so I'm doing live one-to-one appointments all this week, between now and Friday. Okay, so if you are wanting one of those, the times are flexible, so just book the appointment if you want it, and then we will go back and forth to find a time that suits. We always find a time. There's never a problem with timings. Just want to put that out there. But I have got a flexible calendar this week. So yeah, which is why I don't have times listed on my website, because normally it changes quite a bit, but this week is very flexible. Book via my website, so that's if you want any guidance, any quantum healing. If there is something that you specifically really want to heal, quantum healing session would be fantastic for you. I'd say I'd just keep it focused to those two, guidance and help with clarity and focus for you, or healing of something particular to a vibration, a relationship, or a pattern, or something that seems to be hooking you in, right? So let's clear on that if it calls to you. After this week, I won't have any one-to-one slots available for a little while, but I will be doing recorded readings and recorded healings, which are as equally popular as the live ones. So you can still find those on my website as well. Last but not least, I will see you all, like I say, on the 7th, Thursday the 7th, with lovely Tim. We do have our pranic initiation happening. So, pranic initiation. Sorry, my nose is still running now. Listen to the body, she says. I'm going to have a little rest after this, I think, and just lie on my Shakti mat, because it just activates all the pressure points and it'll just help relieve. But, yes, we have our pranic initiation 8th to the 11th of July. So that is an extended dry feast where your body will remember, it will work with the fire element within you. It will burn away all that stuff. It's a very, very advanced and quick way of helping your body remember how to live off light. This will be the third one that I do. I'm also co-hosting it, so I will be offering sessions through that weekend. Go to pranicfamily.com just to have a little nosy, have a little browse. If it calls to you, if you are one of those people that want an advanced spiritual kind of expansion, a pranic initiation is the way to go, in my opinion anyway. It's the quickest way to open yourself up to your higher self and to release any resistance within your mind and your body. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to your emotions. Take the time you need. Enjoy the joyous energy that is going to come through. Enjoy the opportunities and potential that is going to be focused around your home life, and that feminine energy, right? You get to choose. You get to choose everything about your life. You get to choose it. Don't think for a moment. Don't be under the illusion that you don't have a choice in any of it. You do, right? Where you live, who you live with, what you do for work, how you enjoy your day, what you do in your day. You get to choose all of that. Don't be afraid of the consequences of making a choice, because that's what keeps us limited. That's what keeps us from stopping and not doing what we really want to do. So, all right, beautiful souls, I will see you all on the next video. I'll see whoever's doing the meditations with me. I'll see you tomorrow for day 17. And I look forward to seeing most of you on the Thursday the 7th for the workshop that Tim and I are doing. So much love and so many blessings. Reach out if you want a one-to-one appointment. There will be a limited amount available until my calendar is booked up, and I'll let everyone know when it is. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now. Lots of love.